If your AI tools have been acting up lately, just know you're not alone. Mine tried to optimize my edit by replacing every B-roll clip with a slow zoom on a toaster. Happy Friday, May 1st, 2026. This is Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley, and wow, Toaster Core is very you. Also, yes, this episode is cooked up by our robot production line, like fully automated. If we sound slightly too awake, that's just the model, hallucinating caffeine.
Today's big story. Mirage AI just dropped Alice, an open-weights text-to-video model, on Hugging Face. It's called Alice T2V14B MoE, Apache License 2.0, designed for short clips, and they actually shipped it with the scaffolding to run it yourself.
Which is huge because open video has been stuck in that it's giving science fair era, like technically impressive, emotionally unstable.
Exactly. Alice is another shove toward video generation is a workflow choice, not a subscription you beg for renders inside.
Okay, before we go deep on Alice, can we zoom out for a second? Because this week has been AI is becoming infrastructure, not just AI is a toy.
Totally. In the last few days, we've had OpenAI pushing GPT 5.5 as the finish the job model, not just the start the job model. NVIDIA dropped Nematron 3 Nano Omni open weights multimodal built for production pipelines. Adobe put Firefly AI Assistant into public beta, basically a creative agent that runs multi-step work. And Google rolled out Workspace Intelligence, Gemini as a context layer across Gmail, Docs, Sheets, the whole Office jungle.
It's like everybody woke up and realized creators don't need another magic trick. We need less glue work, less tab juggling, less, why is this file named Final Fine Really Final?
And that's the connection to Alice. OpenWeight's video isn't just yay open source, it's leverage, it's control. It's we can build this into our pipeline and not pray a vendor doesn't change the model overnight.
Or throttle you, or put you in a queue like you're waiting for concert tickets, or randomly decide your prompt is against policy because you typed the word mask.
Yep. And Mirage is positioning Alice as practical about 5-second clips, 480p and 720p. Not, we made a feature film. More like, we made shots.
5 seconds is honestly the real unit of content now. Like, half of TikTok is a single good shot plus captions and a sound that's been used into the ground.
Jay, let's talk mixture of experts, because people hear that and their eyes glaze over.
Or they hear it and go, oh cool, more ways for it to break at 2 in the morning.
Both are valid. In plain English, mixture of experts is like a team where not everybody shows up to every meeting. The model has a bigger overall brain, but only part of it is active for each step. Mirage describes it as roughly 27 billion total parameters, with roughly 14 billion active per step.
So it's like I have a whole production crew, but only the camera and audio show up until we need lighting. That's kinda nice.
Nice in theory. In practice, it can mean better quality per compute, but also more complexity. You're not just running a single blob of weights, you're running a system.
And creators need to know that system word translates to, you will have a day where Python makes you cry.
Yeah, open weights does not mean effortless. It means the bottleneck moves from vendor says no to your workflow says yes, which is empowering, but also you own the mess.
So who is Alice really for right now? Because I can already hear someone listening like, I make TikToks on my phone, do I need a home server?
If you're a solo creator who just wants quick, clean generations, honestly, you're probably still living in Runway, Luma, Kling, whatever closed tool fits your vibe. Alice is for teams and power users who care about privacy, repeatability, and not renting their workflow.
Or for the, I want to generate 1,000 variants without my credit card combusting crowd.
Right, especially marketing ops teams. If you can self-host, costs become more predictable. Not necessarily cheaper day one because hardware isn't free, but you're not paying per mood swing.
Okay, hit me with the non-obvious use case, besides make ads faster. What should creators do with self-hosted text-to-video?
Previs and internal alignment. Like, use Alice to generate fast concept shots for a pitch deck, then hand that to your editor and designer team as direction. It's less final video, more, we all see the same thing now.
Yes, also, style experiments. If you're a brand, you can try to adapt around a look. Not saying it's easy, but Apache 2.0 licensing makes the commercial conversation way less annoying.
Let's talk Apache 2.0 for a second. It's basically a legal hug compared to some other open releases, but companies still trip over the basics. They don't document their inputs, they don't track what model version produced what output, and then they can't answer simple questions later.
Like, where did this come from? And everybody's like, the GPU? Not a great look.
Exactly. If you're shipping work commercially, you still want provenance. You want internal logs. You want a review process. Open weights is not a permission slip to be sloppy.
Okay, now the spicy part. The line between usable shot and AI B-roll crime scene. because 5 seconds at 720p can be either, wow, that's solid, or why is the person's elbow doing parkour?
The editor decides that line. Always, the model doesn't know your brand's tolerance for weirdness. Editors do. The best way to use Alice is to treat it like a shot generator, then cut around the bad frames.
So basically, make it earn its keep. If it gives you 1 second that's clean, you take the 1 second. You don't marry the entire clip.
Exactly. And you build a workflow that expects that. Generate more than you need, pick the winners, stabilize with post tools if you have to, and don't pretend temporal consistency is solved.
Speaking of melty characters, reality check, Hunter. Are we months away, years away, or forever one update away from disappointment?
For open video specifically, we're in that phase where each release gets more usable, but consistency is still fragile. I think it's going to be a while before open models are boringly reliable the way closed tools are starting to feel. But the direction is obvious. Short shots, stitched by humans, with upscalers and cleanup.
Yeah, it's like early DSLR video. Amazing, but you still had to know what you were doing, and your footage was still kind of crunchy unless you lit it right.
Great analogy. And also, the ecosystem is building the missing layers. That's what I'm watching next. Comfy UI nodes, turnkey wrappers, benchmark prompt sets, quantization options, all the unsexy stuff that turns available into adopted.
And I'm watching the agent layer trend, like GPT 5.5 trying to finish multi-step work, Adobe trying to make creative workflows promptable and reviewable, Google trying to make context less of a scavenger hunt. If those agents get good at running pipelines, open video models like Alice become components you swap in.
Exactly. Imagine a system where your agent pulls the brief from docs, generates a shot list, runs Alice for draft shots, then hands the selects to your editor with timecodes and notes.
Wait, hold up. That's the dream. But also, that's how you get the funniest failure, like the agent confidently tags the meltiest clip as hero shot.
Which is why human in the loop is not optional. It's the job.
Okay, quick detour into we are not ready for this. Open video getting better means fake video evidence getting scarier. What's the legal or PR disaster you think is coming?
Someone's going to submit AI-generated security footage that's technically plausible. Grainy, shaky, totally believable. It will be used in a dispute before anyone realizes it's synthetic, because the vibe matches what people expect reality to look like.
Ugh. And the internet will be like, enhance, except now enhance means invent. Love that journey for us.
The modern version of the I'm not a cat moment, but as a security red flag, is probably AI video filters inside calls that look silly while quietly doing identity spoofing.
Okay, but since we're here, simplest defense for voice clone scams for normal humans?
A family password is still elite, something you can ask that a stranger wouldn't know. And also, if the call is urgent and emotional, pause and verify through a second channel. Text them, call back, don't let the audio drive.
Yeah, if someone is like, I need money right now, you're not being rude by checking, you're being alive.
Bringing it back to Alice, the funniest thing about this release is it's not trying to be everything. It's basically saying, here's 5 seconds, make it work. And honestly, that's how creators already work.
Yup, shot-based thinking is real. Also, meme caption for this update. Stop renting your workflow.
Or local video generation, because cues are cringe.
I'm stealing that. Final take. If you're a creator who wants control, privacy, and the ability to integrate video gen into real pipelines, Alice is a meaningful move. If you want one-click perfection, it's not that.
And the bigger signal is open video becoming less of a research flex and more of an operational option. That's the arc.
All right, go forth and generate responsibly. And if your character melts, just call it experimental fashion.
Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily. Subscribe if you want more creator-first AI news without the hype naps.
And hit up bluelightningtv.com for updates. Hunter will be there, fighting with a toaster and a Python environment.
It's me versus the dependencies, and the dependencies are winning. Catch you next time.